Hello and welcome. I'm Tim, and this is SV Paquita in Nice, France. And you know what? Wait until I roll this thing around. You guys look at me. I may be a mess, totally covered in grease, oil, and sweat, but I've never felt so large. We just had an amazing thing happen, and I really should play the lottery because I just got about 10 loads of luck all in one shot. So right now it's sunny, but it's been raining all morning. And when we came in from the marina over here. The first thing we have to do is figure out, we have to talk to the people at the marina staff, and they have to tell us that we're going to back in. So what we have to do is we have to deploy our fenders on the side, and I have to put the dinghy down because if we back into the slip, we won't be able to get out of the boat. So we do all that out there, and that's fine. And then we come up here, and the wind starts howling, and it's pouring rain. And I bring her up here like this, and I back her in between these two boats. And you can't really take your time. I like to do things low and slow. But when the wind's blowing, and you've got a single screw boat that full keel and it pulls over to the left and your bow thruster's not working, you got to give it a good shot. So I give it a good shot astern, back and fill. Incidentally, if you guys want me to talk about the physics of backing and fill, write that in the comments, because the Irish lads, they had not heard of that and they were having trouble. I told them how to back and fill, and they said that it changed everything for them, and now they love doing it. If that's something that you want me to talk about, let me know. But anyway, we got in here, and right when let me back up. I'm so excited here. I'm messing the story up. So we got about right to here, about the stern, the Paquita was over right about midship of this guy's cleat. And I'm falling the other way. So I give it a shot ahead with the rudder hard over to snap it up into the wind again. And the thing goes zzz, zzz, the engine just going with no load on it. And I'm like, uh-oh, I don't have any propulsion right now. Nothing forward, nothing astern. And I'm like, I can't worry about that right now. I just got to get in the slip. So I had the stern in. So I tell the girl, the little French girl on the dock was our dock. It's pouring rain, the wind's howling. Grab this boat hook, and we come over here, and I just go on this guy's boat and start pulling us backwards till we get back here. She gives us a couple stern lines, lifts up the lazy line, we tie it off, and we shut it down. So now it's pouring rain, and I'm like, man, I have an appointment at 12:30 tomorrow with the Italian police to try to get this stamp, these special stamps for getting out of Schenken for a yacht in transit. I have the shipping agent set up to pick us up at 12:20, and that means we have to leave here at 5 in the morning to get up there, get into the dock, get all set, and then get ready to do all the stuff to make everything work. Now I got a boat that we don't have any propulsion. So what do? I go down below, and every time I tell you about something that breaks, I always try to tell you that I always think it's worse than it really is. So I'm terrified that something went wrong with the transmission. The clutch blew up. There's a forward and reverse. There's a dog that moves back and forth, but it's not really a dog. But anyway, it has a clutch, and it's not like a clutch on a car. Anyway, if that went, that would be like a big deal. So hopefully that wasn't it. I was hoping that it might be something like there's a little cable, so that when you put the control forward, the cable pushes down on the lever, and it pushes down on the lever on the transmission, or the reverse gear, and you start going forward, you put it in the middle, and it lifts up, and then you put it reverse, it lifts all the way up, and goes into reverse. Well, I came over here, and here is what we're looking at. Of course, you're seeing the end result. Down here, here's the engine. There's the reverse gear. And you might see some new studs or new bolts and nuts on there. So I don't really know why. And there's going to be a million guys out there. I shouldn't say a million guys. There's always one guy, at least, that's going to tell me, if you knew what you were doing, you would, part of your every daily checks when you check everything would be to check the bolts holding the damn propeller shaft on. And yeah, I suppose he's probably right. Of course, That means the last 23 years, you would have been set checking something that didn't need to be checked. I say that, but that's not really true either, because there are 4 bolts, and I only found one broken one. I haven't found the other ones. I don't know if they're, and I don't know. Maybe they're forward under the engine. I'll find them later, and I'll let you know about that. But the way this thing is like such a perfect fit in here, you're not really turning on the pressure of the bolts. The bolts are just holding everything together. You know, does that make sense? So, the good news was I didn't have to get the exact thread. I just get the exact same size, pop it through. Now, if you'll notice, these are nylon lock washers, lock nuts on the back. The problem is that the threads don't go all the way. To use a lock nut with a nylon lock nut, you should have the threads extend past there, and they don't. So if you see a little wet here on there, that's I put some Loctite thread locker on all of these when I put them in and cranked them up, and it works, and I'm so excited. And I'm making this sound much easier than it really was. So I went to the, sorry about that. First I went to the chandlery. There's a chandlery right at the end of the dock, and they don't speak any English, but we were going back and forth with Google Translate and that sort of stuff. And I was thinking that the bolts I needed were metric, because it's a Yanmar engine, and I think it's a Taziki. Does that sound right? It's something like, sounds like Suzuki, but I think it's a Taziki or something like that. Is the name of the manufacturer that makes the reverse gear. But the thing I didn't count on was that they just make the reverse gear. Connecting the reverse gear to the shaft was probably only done in the US, and it changes probably everywhere that you do it. So when Island Packet put all this together back in 2002, they probably did it with what I'm assuming would be grade 8. I don't know, because I'm on the fence about this. And you guys love to give me your opinion, so quite frankly, this is one time. Let me just check, make sure I'm recording. Yeah, still recording. You guys love to give me your opinions. This is one time I'm asking for your opinion. Do we want grade 8 bolts on that? Remember, this is not a 2,000 horsepower engine. It's a 75 horsepower engine. And I'm thinking, I don't even know, because these are metric ones, or they seem metric to me, but I don't know. Who knows? What I put back in there, they fit really well, but I think they're grade 5. And I'm thinking that it's probably better to have grade 5 than grade 8, because if it's grade 8, you need something to break if you hit a rock or something like that. You know what I mean? If something went bad, you'd want a weak link. If you didn't, if you have grade 8, would you destroy the reverse gear? I don't know. Anyway, didn't really matter. I need to get going. I need to fix it today. I found parts, put it in. It works. It worked great. I put it head down. I will know when we go out and crank it up and make sure that we're don't have any vibration. But I can't see why we would. Everything lined up perfectly. So felt really, really happy about that. So I'm super, super, super excited about that we got it done, and we'll be able to leave in the morning. And I feel like $1,000,000. I can't wait to take a shower. And you know what? Nisa's kind of cool so far. And the funny part is, the French have been really, really, really nice and helpful, and they've been great. And you know what? I'm probably going to get in a lot of trouble saying this. Yeah, I'm in a different country. When Christina and I were talking about, we've seen many, when we were coming coming down the ICW a couple of years ago, all the French Canadians, they were a big thorn in my side, and they always had something to say, and they were always yelling and screaming about everything. And we have seen a bunch of boats with French flags on them, with people yelling and screaming at each other, and you can't come here, you're too close, and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, the people that we have dealt with here in France on a personal level have been phenomenal. And Chrysalida brought up something that this is where I'm probably going to get into trouble with. She said, yeah, it's kind of like Puerto Ricans. And I was like, uh-oh, what are you saying? And now, I'm not saying this applies to everybody. I'm just saying that the Puerto Ricans that you know from the U.S., that are in the U.S., seem to have a much different demeanor than the people that live on the island. The people that live on the island are the most kind, gentle people, and if you have a flat tire, you'll get 20 cars pulled over, all wanting to help you out. It's amazing. And I don't know, maybe the guys in New York are more busy. I don't know, but I love all the Boricua no matter what. But I thought that was an interesting thing, that maybe the reason why we've seen the problem that with the problems that we've seen with other people of French nationalities were not in their home place where they were comfortable, because the people here have just been so sweet and so helpful and so kind and so trusting. So all good news. Can't get me down. I feel like $1 million fixing this thing. I'm just so happy. And I mean think about it. Runa had this boat for a week while I was taking care of my business with my dad, and that could have happened to him. And I'm not saying that Runa couldn't figure it out. It's just he's a veterinarian. This isn't his thing, So and not only that, it's not your thing. It's not your boat. Nobody ever likes to borrow somebody's something and have it break. So thank God that didn't happen to Runa. And then thank God it didn't happen to us when we're coming in the marina or coming through the gap, where the wind was howling. We would have been up on the rocks, I don't think I could have got the anchor deployed that fast. So that was amazing. And then thank God it wasn't a big problem like the clutches or the transmission just gone, just blown up or whatever. And you know what? I have to admit and say that I don't know about the whole bolt thing. I got a feeling that there's been one bolt on there for a long time. I don't know. Should I have checked it every day? Yeah, probably. But I mean, shoulda, woulda, coulda have. I probably will in the future. But I don't really know that that's a big deal. I'll keep an eye on it now, especially now that I'm not sure that this is the last thing that was there lasted 23 years. I don't know how long this is going to last. Like I say, the bolts aren't exactly right. I think they're going to be fine, cranked in pretty good. I put Loctite on them and all that, but we'll see how it goes, and so I'll be checking that. But the thing that I did wrong was coming in, I was backing down. You got to get a good shot away on it, and when you fill, you have the rudder hard over, and then you put it in neutral, and then put it in forward, and then give it a good shot ahead. And I don't think I waited long enough. And that's a bad habit I get from tugboats, because the older tugboats that had air controls, there was something called a shuttle valve, where it wouldn't allow you, if you were hooked up forward and you brought the controls all the way back and hooked it up astern, the engine will slow down, it'll go to neutral, but it won't engage it in the stern until the shaft stops. And the newer ones, the ones that I've been with this last company for years, they all had electronic ones that have speed sensors on them. And there's shaft brakes either outside of the reverse gear or in the reverse gear itself to stop all that momentum. But in my case, I don't have any of that, so I probably went forward or reverse to ahead too fast while the thing was still spinning, and probably sheared that last one off. In any case, it was a gift of God that it happened where it did when it did, and that's kind of cool. Anyway, that's it. Maybe I'll give you another one tomorrow when we get underway, and hopefully have good news for you about clearing out of France and into, apparently there is no clearing part because of this whole Schengen thing, but I still got to go to Italy and see how that goes. So you guys, thank you so much for watching, and we're going out tonight, so those of you that bought us rounds, we'll be toasting you guys. Thank you so much. Cheers. If you want to buy a round, hit the super thanks button. We love that. But I also love just having you guys watch. Love having you hit the like and subscribe, and if you write a comment, that helps as well. But special shout out to the patrons. The patrons make everything work, and we love you guys. Put a link in the description below. Take care, be safe, and as always, I'll see you on the one.